Oh, oh, oh crap, that came undone. I gotta fix this chain, I just noticed. Holy Nikes. That's not good. Okay. Anyways, the tractor's sitting here because I need to drag that here. I gotta take care of some lambs. Oh yeah, that's what else I gotta do today. I gotta drag this big son of a trucker out of here and shove this down beside my blue truck there because I need to get down past this thing into the bottom garden area, down into that stuff right there. It doesn't have fuel pumps in it or fuel lines. It also doesn't have brakes. For some reason, I lost all the brake fluid in that. Fix these chains here. Something happened. This popped off. This is your cam lock. I don't know. I was getting a little hard on it, maybe. It is what it is. There we go. That looks good. Now we'll just cam lock these up. Get off. This tire has a bit of a problem with letting the air out of itself, so I can see there's something going on. I've kind of run out of space to yank that sucker backwards. There we go. Ah. I do remember. Clip. Did I have to take the front? I don't know. I never took the fenders off. I don't think I took the core support. Doesn't look like I did a lot of this. That's still attached. Maybe I didn't take this off. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. So that's about as far as I took it down. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay. We gotta come up with a new plan then. I don't want to push off of this. I could, but I don't want to. I could, but I don't want to. But I could. But I don't want to. Okay. It's been 4 years. 4 years. I'm thinking I should be able to get something in off the bottom and push it in. I think. I'll try that. It's just this rise right here. Or should I try and shorten the chain up and drag it up? Or should I go get the skid steer? Is this gonna work? I don't know. It's pulling the back end that way and I want it to go this way, so hopefully it works. Negative. Almost. So it's a little bit too far that way. I want to go this way and then I'm going to push it back. I want it lined up about with this door here. Oh, I think that's perfect. Enough space to walk around. I had to make a little thing to push this off of here, and it worked out just fine. Well, I just did some other stuff here, but are you the king of all your ladies? Ladies, he's the king. You're the king. Oh, hi. How you doing, Hankosaurus? All this lower control arm here and the knuckle is all attached to that lower cross member that's bolted right there, and I think there, maybe one there. Coil over, strut, sorry. And the upper control arm and the brake is all attached to the body, so we want to separate them out. I already done this side here, so I could figure out what was going to be a problem and what was not going to be a problem. I had to go through down in here and figure out how did I undo these bolts here and then drop this whole bracket out, because I was looking for whether I undid this here or not. Now these were not undone, which means I had to have dropped this whole steering rack with the assembly. Luckily this nut bolt here was loose, which means I undid the sector shaft from the input to the steering. The steering wheel right now will spin 180 degrees, and you don't want to do that, and now it's not going to let the steering wheel turn. We can drop this whole assembly out. Let's get this off. I'm just making it up as I go along. Anyway, whatever. Let's see what we got here. So this should all come off the same way as the other one. It is what it is. Let me stick you up there for now. Can't remember, I think this one goes on this side. Looks like it. And then this goes on the other side. Get out of there. Just keep spinning that out, I suppose. Put those together until we get that clevis out, and then we'll hook her to the air gripper. Bad. I'm gonna go tie this off before I break it. The best part about farming is tons of binder twine. Okay, where the heck is my... There we go. There we go. Hey, we done it. All right, so it's just, the 2 bolts on either side is all that's holding this in. I'm using a 19 and a 21 mil. There's 21, and there's your 19. The other side's already off. There we go. So there we go, she's out of there. Be so much easier if I had a hoist. A little update here, like 5 seconds after. I was gonna go down and get this. I did have the bumper off. I'm playing around here and I realized, yes, I do remember having the bumper off of this. So let's see if I can't get it off. There we go. All right. And that's as far as I'm going. Ta-da! This sits right underneath that oil fill right there. And then this is what drains your oil into a little trough. This bracket is part of this. I gotta remember where I put those bolts there. And then that bracket there, and then there's one on the back. And they fit right into right here, right there, and then right there. That was not pleasant. The whole thing just about come down. That thing, ay. That's good now. Holy shit, that was a little bit crappy pants. Come on, not what I want. Get these ball joints up off the ground. A bit unpleasant, I'll tell you that right now. There we go. Pull that apart, brake clean that out, make sure all the bearings are still good as I remember. Yeah, I'll do, not a big deal on that. Oh, I need a crank pulley. Let's go find that. So I don't know the difference between these two. I know I grabbed one because I could, oh, maybe it's because of that. I think this is the better one. I'm gonna go get some Scotch-Brite and I'm gonna Scotch-Brite these down and see if there's a difference here. This I believe is the one that came off, and this is the one that came off my parts motor. I'm gonna have to call it quits here because I can't find Scotch-Brite in this friggin' disaster of a shop. Oh. This was stuff that was in the basement. Stuff that was in the basement might have had stuff that I might have needed. There's a bunch of chemical stuff. Oh, I think those engine mounts, yeah. Negative on that, Chief. Okay. Hi, Gizmo. Giz, do you need more Bubba? That's Gizmo. That's Gizmo. And she's a screamer. Because she wants her Baba. They just had their bottles like 2 hours ago. So they shouldn't. But bottle babies always want Babas. Joy, Timmy, hi. Gizmo. Hi, girls. So you have a little lammy in the minus really cold. He's doing really good. That's him right there. This is the mama. She's a very good first timer. You can see he's gonna have a bit of frostbite on his ears. He might lose them. He's got a bit of goop coming out of one. Yes. Oh, there's Scooter. Hi, Scooty. You want Bubba's too, buddy? Okay. So can we see? Hey, broski. Tip of his nose. He lost a little bit of skin, but it's gonna be all good. This is Pirate. Hi, Pirate, because she's got a page. So her and Black there, and that lamb right there, they're the triplets. And that's Mom right there. That's Rhodey. She only has one udder, but she's looking after one, maybe two of these guys, okay? This is Scooter. His mom is right there. And she has one udder too, but his sister is right there. That's Scooter's sister. So it's Scooter's sister. Hi, Bandit. So she's got to, unfortunately, she's got to go and she's got to go. Because she can only look after one lamb, but she has twins and triplets. And she can only look after 1.5 lambs, and she has twins and triplets. And these guys just came out this morning. That's a boy, that's a girl. Chewy faces. He did really well considering how cold he was. He had to go into the house, go up to the house, go by the fire, get warmed up to the point where he was willing to drink from Mom. Then we bring him down, then he'd drink from Mom, and then about an hour later we'd have to bring him back to the house to warm him up, get him heated up. If he wouldn't drink from Mom, then we had to make a bottle. If he drank from Mom but didn't get enough because he was too cold too fast, then we give him a bottle. And then finally one day he was just like, no, I'm staying outside and I'm good to go. But I think the temperature broke. It wasn't that minus cold. I will get you guys Babas. I got what I needed to get done. I got that truck moved here onto our car lot. Last we left off, I think I had the front diff in here. I didn't video a lot yesterday or the day before, 2 days. I realized I was missing or just couldn't find. There's 3 bolts that go here. I just went and got some grade 8 7/16, I think 2-inch long, with some lock washers and some washers. I wanted to put the washers on the side of the aluminum, but I couldn't. But just so this bracket will fit here, I went through all this. These are my spare ones, or spare fasteners. And I even couldn't find anything from, this is my spare front diff. I couldn't even find anything from that. The front diff has also been cleaned up. I just decided, screw it. It's not super clean, but I brake cleaned it and wire wheel siliconed it here last night so that today, when this is all together and the axle shafts are in, we can fill this with fluid, because it's going to be a little bit difficult to put fluid in when it's all in there. I mean, it's not impossible. It's right there as your fill, but I'd rather do it out of the vehicle than in. These here, 3 different size fasteners. So this is your inspection type cover. It goes across down there, right across here. And what it does is it lets you bolt up your torque converter to your flywheel, or unbolt your torque converter from your flywheel so you can remove the transmission. These fasteners here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that go there. And then there's 4 that bolted up on the side. I thought they went in up here. So on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I thought they went in there. But these little ones here are, there's only 4 of these, and they go up 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right there. I thought they went in these 4 bolt holes here on either side, because these actually threaded into here. They just weren't deep enough. And I was running around trying to figure out if I lost bolts because these wouldn't thread into here. And neither of these would thread into the actual transmission right here. So what I ended up finding out is this bottom 4 and then that plate at the bottom takes one size of fasteners. And then from the engine side to the transmission takes just these 2, only those 2 fasteners. They're really big. And then these 4 fasteners here, those top ones are the smallest ones. Yesterday we took the fuel injectors in to get those tested. They've tested good. Yeah, anyways, just quick thing. Jeep never came with this. It came with that electric fan there. This is actually off a 4.7, one of these motors, Dodge Dakota. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked that out just yet. Maybe I should have put that front bracket on after. Okay, can I just wedge it there? Don't fall or we're fucked. One should hold it. Just enough for now. Put that there. There we go. Okay. We got to get that bolt in there, but it's hitting that bolt there through that bracket. The other hole is in behind this right here, so there's no way to get in there. And so I just have to work it past here, but I don't have a lot of block space right there. So that's the fun part I'm dealing with now. Okay, so I got it. I just pulled that out of the way. Gave me enough room to tap that in. And then I got the nut on there. I couldn't figure out why this bolt was always cut at the end, but that's why, because there's no space to put it in. So the front diff is secure. It's not tightened, but it's secured. Hey, what's up? Bot baby time?
Yeah, and feeding or whatever.
Yeah, everything okay, good. So there has been a massive change of front diff's in, cradle's in, front suspension's in, brakes are done, steering's locked up and put together. I just got to do some finished torquing. As you can see, the transmission, I've cleaned that all up. I found the torque converter. That was the good one. It's in here. You have to be very careful to make sure you line up these flat detents here on the internal pump. That's ready to go in, but we're going off to get our injectors now. Welcome to day whatever of working on Jeep Freedom. I mean Liberty. Last day we got the front cross member cradle in. Everything is in front. for driveline. Diff's in there. Put this transmission onto the creeper here so it can roll under the Jeep. I have a block heater, 2 sensors in the exhaust already. I accidentally stepped on this connector and broke it, so we've replaced that. Oil filter. Right now is I want to get this Jeep into this area here that we've sort of cleaned out, and then right up to about here. I have to unload that hay, and then after that I'm going to put a trailer hitch in here and a trailer hitch in this without a ball, and we're going to use a pin that we use to move equipment, which I don't have any equipment sitting here to show you. And then I'm going to turn the Jeep basically into a trailer off the back of the tractor to drive it around the yard. I think I threw some of my trailer hitches into the work truck. I think, oh, I did too. Look at that, I'm a genius. That's debatable. Yeah, it is. I'm hoping that works. There's no transmission. Park, it doesn't matter. There's no transmission. I think I gotta get a better trailer hitch. This one has got too much and then I can't get this down low enough, so I gotta go take another trailer hitch and take the hitch out of it.
Take the ball out? Okay.
Yeah. You get the idea I'm going for though, right? Yeah. Muffler's dragging now that we're going uphill. See if I can't find a bungee. When you pull it, that pin either goes this way or this way, and it starts to really get close to the R pin.
Yeah.
But damn, that worked good. I like that. Yeah, we're done for the day. That's it for today, other than feeding and loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottles.
And Baba's. Okay, sounds good. All right, we are in the shop. Tables over here, tools are here, empty totes are here. So, all we have to do is that bell housing should go right in about here. I just have to go grab a couple of jacks and jack stands and get this front end up high enough to clearance that way, I'm hoping. All right, you wonderful people. As you can see, we've jack standed this thing up. I know that looks a little too far that way. It's fine, don't worry. Distance from here to here is 21. Distance from this point to the floor is 23. We just have to take dipstick fill tube off and plug that hole so no dirt gets in there. Not a problem. But I think if we roll this up and in that spot right there, we'll pull the tire off. I think we should be golden. You guys see how neat this means? Look at that. Almost like I designed it that way. Okay. And then you're gonna go under here. And you're gonna go this way. Holy crap, that's awesome. Okay. I'm just gonna pop this off. Okay. I think I need to go up a little bit higher. These two jacks are sitting where this needs to be. This is my low profile jack. She is not really happy with the world. That looks alright. I don't think that's taking a lot of weight. It's good and secure. Now that changed a lot of dynamics too. And yeah, that back piece doesn't want to fit through there. Okay, we'll put this further back. Just that way it's not in my way. Not very much it needs. That might be enough. Oh, still an inch. This is where I wish I had a hoist. Any hoist would be fine. 4-wheel hoist, I don't care. Oh, we got it. We got it, boys. So, at the top of the transfer case, right there, was having trouble clearing this rail here. But there's our bolts. This jacks up into there. Like that. But I gotta lift this up, but I gotta let the whole truck down. Jerked down, jerks are out. There's the jerk stands. I'm going to lift this part up here. And I want to put a block like that big 6x6 right there up underneath this. I got on a little bit of a roll and I put the scissor lifts under here and I brought that up. I just have to finish torquing these 4 fasteners here. You've seen this before, nothing on top. Okay, my understanding of lifting these engines, putting a clevis around this point and around this point with a V to the back. I've also seen, I think on the 4.7s, there's actually a threaded bit in here somewhere, not where the knock sensor is, but there's a threaded thing somewhere that you can lift off of. We don't have any of that, so it's just basically like right around, just like that, and then right around that spot there. So I got a clevis. I want to thank one of my neighbors for dropping this on the easement because now it's mine. I'm going to make sure I got no ring on this because I am not 100% certain I did. So I'm going to crank these two 12s and this 12 off, and then we're going to make sure that O-ring is good because I got tons of them sitting down in there, I think. Put this all back together, and then we'll dump oil down here, goes into here, into this oil pump, and then we'll crank the motor over. And that'll start cycling the fluid. It'll pull it through and pumping it through the oil pump, and hopefully we will prime the oil pump. Okay, so here's the O-ring here. This looks like it's an old one. Replace that with a new one. Obviously, you can see the sort of the differences in them. So it's a good thing we checked that because that was an old oil or old O-ring. Sometimes you just gotta second guess yourself, you know. That could have been okay, but that could have been disaster. It's primed out, so we're good to go. I'm gonna put the pan back on. Okay, let's just throw this block meter in while I'm sitting here. Lovely. it collides with that's a cylinder wall right there. So that's a no bueno. You can come in through right here and do the block heater later. So like right in this little area here, you can reach up and do it. Okay, motor's back up and over, oil pan's torqued. There we go. All right, I think I do have to go get some smaller clevises. This is not going to take what chains I got, or I got to go buy chain. Okay, I found my chains that came with the harness lifting thing. Through these two bolts here, because this one kept wanting to slide forward because of how far forward this is. These have good purchase into the block. I've seen people use those. These look like they'll grab really good at the back. I might have to adjust that a little bit, but I think we're locked up and ready to, oh, once this is up, I gotta get that rear main seal in. I forgot about that. Okay, that little bugger might be in the way, so maybe we'll rotate that out of the way first so that we got lots of clear for the legs, because these legs got to come in. But yeah, I'm just doing waters right now for the sheep. As soon as I'm done waters, I should have lunch to just make sure my brain's 100% when we get this going. What do you think? You don't care. Snowy and Pirate. And who's that back there? Is that Gizzy? Hey guys. What's up, cat? Okay, so I got it good and secure. It's holding. I just had to level it a bit. Power's out. I gotta throw the generator on, so I'm just gonna throw this over here, but I'm not going to have the phone on because it's just going to be loud as loud, and I'm going to put earplugs and stuff in because it can get loud. So this is ready to start. Shoving its way in there. I got you can't see, but the rear main's in there, and this is torqued to 70 foot-pounds. So now it's time to, oh, right, this thing. Yoink. Hi, Freya. Okay. All right, so there's this. Some guys say tack weld this. I've seen some shops that said they tack weld this, but I'm going to assume these dowels will hold it in just fine. So I'm about to throw the gen set on, and I'm going to get this sucker fed in here because I need lights. Freya, stop going underneath this thing. That was a chore. My lift bracket was hitting this lip right here, so I couldn't get this in as far back as I wanted. It's bolted up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fasteners for now. We'll do the rest in a bit. I want to get the engine mounts, the engine mounts in right now, so that this is all the weight is in the vehicle. It's all supported. Oh, the other thing I got to keep in mind is every bolt on the back actually has like a wiring that bolts to it somewhere. It's over there. So I just tighten them down, but I will be taking them off later. I did have to take the motor mounts off. That was the first thing. There she is. We got a bit of snow last night. Tractor's there for its pushy-pulley dealio. Thankfully, my engine rebuild came with another core plug. Keen-eyed observers will note that our freeze plugs up there, or core plugs, that is not where the block heater goes. That one is. Carrie's gonna run in and get a battery. Sits right there. This, I do believe, was the old battery for this. Not 100% dead, 6 volts. They could load test that maybe and see if it works. Either way, I think a new battery, because that's been sitting for 4 years. She's also picking up, there's a ground strap that goes to here, down to the back of the block. I'd rather be overkill than underkill. So we want to make sure that's all nicely grounded out so we don't code. From that point there to the back of the right head, and then I've got another one that'll go to the back of the left head. We're using this because they don't make ground straps long enough unless I go through Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and I'm not about to do that. I knocked that one out. Ooh, that one out. Ooh, that was my light. There we go. There's my light. Now we can all see. Ooh. I got it in. So, block heater's in. Ooh, sorry, shot a coyote this morning. Where I've got this lined up, I can reach my finger in here And you can see I can move the torque converter. So we've lined that bolt hole up. Oh, I'll just get that done off camera because there's really nowhere for you guys to go. Okay, so I think we got lift off. The transmission cover is in, the torque converter bolt to flex plate is in, the transmission bolts to the motor are all in and tight. I'm going to start doing, I believe, wiring here. All right, where did we leave off here? Sorry, I'm gonna kick, there we go. This chunky bugger right here is supposed to go down there over the transmission. I have to get these motor mounts out, lift the motor, unbolt the motor mounts from the block, undo the transmission mounts at the back here, right there, and then put a jack under there, and I gotta drop the transmission, and I'm gonna drop the motor, and it should give me enough space to feed this bugger back under there. Wiring harness essentially has to be the first thing into the vehicle, but it's because even in the FSM, you put the transmission and the motor together in the engine cradle, you throw your wiring harness, and then you lift the motor and transmission in, or you drop the body down. You can see where we had the clearance to push that down and in. It seems to be lining up. There's two wires that spread and go down. One goes to the right side, one goes to the left side of the transmission and the transfer case. This clip here is to hold this harness in. It bolts to the top. I can start trying to wire in the wiring. Jeez, I'm tired. I have to go feed sheep. Look at that. I think that's it for the day for me.